The coffee cup shattered against the kitchen floor. Hot liquid splashing like a sudden storm. Faith. I can't do this anymore, Hope whispered. Her voice cracking in the dim light of their shared Seattle apartment. Her hands trembled as she gripped the counter. The weight of years crashing down. Faith froze mid-step. Her firefighter's uniform still smudged with soot from the night's shift. The scent of smoke clinging to her like a ghost. It hit like a punch, raw. Unexpected. Faith had always been the shield. The one who charged into flames while Hope sketched dreams from the safety of her graphic design studio. But now, in the quiet hum of the fridge and the distant wail of a fairy horn on Puget Sound, the mending walls between them crumbled. They'd met 5 years back at a community art fair in Pike Place Market. Amid the salty tang of fresh fish and the chatter of tourists. Hope, 28 then, with her flowing auburn waves and paint-stained fingers, was showcasing her digital illustrations, vibrant scenes of urban resilience that captured the soul of the Pacific Northwest. Faith, 29, fresh off a grueling shift at the Seattle Fire Department, wandered in seeking distraction from the adrenaline crash. When a drunk vendor knocked over Hope's display easel, scattering her prints into the crowd, Faith stepped in without a second thought. Her broad shoulders blocked the chaos, her steady hands gathering the artwork piece by piece. Hey, easy there, she'd said, her voice calm like an anchor in rough seas. Hope looked up, heart skipping at the quiet strength in those hazel eyes. From that day, Faith became her protector. Not just from clumsy strangers, but from life's sharper edges. When Hope's freelance gigs dried up during the pandemic, Faith covered rent without a word, her calloused fingers brushing Hope's as she handed over the check. "We're in this together," she'd murmur, the words wrapping around Hope like a warm blanket on a rainy Seattle evening. They'd hike the trails of Mount Rainier on off days, the crunch of leaves underfoot and the crisp mountain air filling the silence between laughs. Faith would point out hidden streams, her arm lingering a beat too long around Hope's waist to steady her on slippery rocks. Hope felt it then, the spark. Buried deep, but flickering brighter with each shared sunset. But Faith was straight. Or so Hope assumed. Engaged once to a fellow firefighter named Mike. Though that ended in a quiet divorce 2 years ago. He couldn't handle the job, Faith had sighed one night over burgers at Dick's Drive-In. The neon lights flickering on her face. Hope nodded, swallowing the ache in her chest. The way Faith's laugh made her stomach twist. She dated sporadically, guys from apps. Coffee meetups that fizzled fast. None stuck. Because none were Faith. The tension built like pressure in a faulty hydrant. Last summer, during a block party in Capitol Hill, rainbow flags waving in the breeze, Hope watched Faith dance with abandon, her body moving to the thump of bass from a street DJ. A woman approached, flirtatious smile and all, and Faith chatted easily, but her eyes kept drifting back to Hope. That night, back home, as rain pattered against the windows, Hope lay awake, the sheets cool against her skin, imagining Faith's touch not as sisterly, but something more. The guilt gnawed, Faith was her rock. Her family in the city far from her Midwest roots. Confessing could shatter it all. Then came the fire. 3 months ago, Faith's engine responded to a warehouse blaze in Soto. Hope paced their living room. The TV news droning updates. Her nails bitten to the quick. When Faith stumbled through the door at dawn, coughing and bruised, Hope rushed forward, wrapping her in a hug that lingered. "I thought I'd lost you," Hope breathed into her neck, inhaling the mix of ash and Faith's familiar lavender soap. Faith pulled back slightly, her thumb brushing a tear from Hope's cheek. "I'm here. Always." In that moment, under the soft glow of the hallway light, Hope's resolve cracked. She leaned in, lips brushing Faith's in a tentative kiss, soft, questioning. Faith stiffened, eyes wide, then gently pushed away. "Hope. What?" The aftermath was a storm of silence. Days blurred into awkward nods and avoided glances. Faith buried herself in overtime shifts, the engine's siren a welcome escape from the unspoken. Hope drowned in her designs, pixels blurring through tears. The apartment felt smaller, the air thick with what-ifs. Friends noticed, their mutual buddy Alex at the local brewery quipped, "You two fighting like an old married couple?" But neither admitted the truth. Until tonight. The shift had been brutal, a high-rise inferno that claimed 2 lives. Faith came home exhausted, dropping her gear with a thud that echoed through the walls. Hope, unable to sleep, confronted her in the kitchen. "That kiss. I meant it. Faith. I've loved you for years. Not as friends. More. The words hung, heavy as fog rolling in from the bay. Faith exhaled sharply. A long sigh that carried the weight of her world. She leaned against the fridge, the cool metal grounding her. Hope. You're everything to me. You've been my light in the dark shifts. The one who makes this chaos bearable. Her voice wavered, raw with emotion. But I've never thought of women that way. Or maybe I have. And it scares the hell out of me. She ran a hand through her short hair. The gesture familiar yet fraught. The clock ticked softly, marking the seconds of vulnerability. Hope stepped closer, heart pounding like distant thunder. I get it. The job. The expectations, being the tough one. But feel this. She took Faith's hand, placing it over her chest, where her pulse raced. It's real. And if you don't feel the same, I'll back off. But don't protect me from the truth. In the quiet, Faith's eyes searched Hope's. Memories flashing, shared Thanksgivings with turkey and football on TV. Lazy Sundays binging Netflix thrillers. The way Hope's laughter cut through her fatigue. A tear slipped down Faith's cheek. Salty and honest. Damn it. Hope. Maybe I've been hiding too. She pulled her close. This time not pushing away. Their lips met again, tentative at first. Then deepening with the release of pent-up longing. The taste of coffee and tears mingled. The world narrowing to this moment. They talked till dawn, unraveling fears under the kitchen light. Faith admitted the spark had always been there, masked by duty and denial. Hope shared her loneliness, the fear of losing her anchor. By morning, as sunlight filtered through the blinds, casting golden stripes on the floor, they emerged changed, stronger. Together, life shifted gears. Faith explored her feelings openly, joining a support group for LGBTQ first responders. Hope's designs flourished, inspired by their story. They hiked Rainier again. Hands intertwined. The mountain air fresher. The views infinite. In the end, protection wasn't just about shielding from harm, it was about embracing the vulnerability that made love real. Faith had always saved Hope from the outside world, now. They saved each other from the inside. And in that truth, they found their forever.